videos we gotta see? How many more videos we gotta see? How many more videos we gotta see? How many more videos we gotta see? No more! How many more videos we gotta see? No more! Until they understand that policing in America is not working. This system ain't broken, it's working exactly how they designed it to work.
Amen. Amen.
It's working exactly how they designed it to work.
Amen.
And it won't be until we step up together. We step up together. We step up together and we fight back. We do what? Stand up, fight back. 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 And we can do it together, y'all. Y'all make some noise if we looking for a celebration today. Make some noise.
Hey, can I read this poem called George Floyd, my image?
Let me give y'all one more chant. Let me see if y'all amped enough for this. Say back up, we want freedom, freedom. All these racist ass cops, we don't need them, need them. Back up, we want freedom, freedom. All these racist ass cops, we don't need them, need them. Hold up, we want freedom, freedom. All these racist ass cops, we don't need them, need them. Hold up, we want freedom, freedom. All these racist ass cops, we don't need them, need them. Hold up.
We young! I got this poem to read, y'all. It's called George Floyd is my Emmett Till. Check me out. It takes 9 long months to create a child inside a mother's womb, but a split second to take it, and that math just don't make no sense to me, my brother. Life is just that fragile and delicate, but imagine life if you happen to be black. It gives some permission for open season on us, and that means nothing if we're attacked. If history was exposed for the atrocity it holds, its ugliness would awaken the dead. So the truth is hidden by the ones in power, but their actions speak beyond what's taught or said. Our lives have meant nothing, to the point that whites wouldn't even speak out or waste their breath. They used to come together in festive ways to watch, witness, and celebrate a black death, gathering in masses to see a life taken by lies, racism, and the end of a twisted rope. While terrorized, we fought through and weathered many storms, even the one involved in dope. The ones who stood against injustice were murdered in order to be silent. But when you look at me, you say I'm angry, aggressive, and your favorite claim, I'm violent. You only see me and view me as subservient entertainers. Good, OG. I got you, brother. I got you. Bear with me. Don't worry about it. Or athletes. Just as long as I don't try to challenge them or to compete. Revolution is an energy. Revolution is an energy. Revolution is an energy that has a nasty underbelly of injustice for the less unfortunate. And those who have drunk from the cup of oppression is intoxicated by its nasty potion. A pandemic is what's said that affects the human race and is a dangerous disease affecting the world. Injustice is its twin brother who has an evil intention as well, but disguised as a beautiful pearl. What I'm seeing today behind the death of George Floyd is a movement of global might. And I know what I'm seeing today will never happen again in my life. So make sure you take in the flight. I mean the sight, excuse me. Take in the sight, believe me. I am, brother, I am. I'm a little nervous. Bear with me, all right? All right, here we go. Consciousness is being awakened. Protest is being staged. And if you're black, this is our time to take a stance. It's beautiful to see and empowering to know, but stay focused, because they'll sell you on some bullshit-ass romance. White privilege is being exposed for its true definition of its meaning. Excuse me. And some think that their race is chosen and smarter. It just means it makes life much more harder for those who's white versus being black, and life is much more harder. America, pay up for the blood and hate you have sown in the wounds of black Americans. I'm almost done, y'all. Bear with me. and no other race has been subject to inhumane treatment like us. I guarantee there's no comparison. Say his name.
George Floyd!
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 Amen. Let me say something. Amen.
Y'all make some noise for that brother. Make some noise, y'all. Make some noise. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. I'm just standing in solidarity with everybody out here. We say a chant in Louisville, and it goes a little something like this. We young, we lit, we taking back our shit. So I just want to just say it real quick so that these, excuse me, I cuss a lot, but I just want to let these motherfuckers know in here that we really out here, and we gonna get our justice that we deserve. We are tired of being second on, we tired of being second on the totem pole in this weak ass country. You feel me? So we young, we lit, we taking back our shit. We young, we lit, we taking back our shit. We young, we lit, we taking back our shit. We young, we lit, we taking back our shit. We young.
Hi everybody, I'm Caroline. I'm from Black Women's March in New York. I want to hear you for New York. We're here to support you. We've been out there since May 29th. We feel you, we hear you, we love you. Let's make some noise. Say his name.
George Floyd.
Say it louder.
George Floyd.
Say his name.
George Floyd.
Justice for.
George Floyd.
Justice for.
George Floyd.
Say his name.
George Floyd.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Fuck these racist ass police. Let's go. Justice on 420. Thank y'all.
Yo, my name Frank Nitty. What up, everybody? I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. All right, now we've been traveling the country, and it's a lot of people protesting for everybody around the country, especially for George Floyd. And this is what I want to say after they read this fucking guilty verdict that they about to read for this man. This is not a celebration. We're not celebrating shit we should have been had. Okay? This is the first step. This ain't a celebration. And we gonna continue to march and say his name. When they ask why you still marching for George Floyd, it's because we fighting for fucking change. We fighting for change. This ain't the end of the fight. The family gonna get justice from this man going to jail. But it's a movement out here, and y'all the people. And we gonna keep on fighting and saying George Floyd's name, and we gonna keep on marching across the country until we get legislative change so this don't happen no more. This is it. This is the revolution. They're not gonna trick us with one victory. We didn't come out here just to get justice for one person. We gonna get this justice, and we gonna keep going. This ain't no celebration, okay? We ain't celebrating. This is not the end. This is the beginning. We gonna keep fighting. We gonna keep marching. We gonna keep George Floyd's name alive, and we gonna keep on fighting until we get all the changes that we want done.
Exactly.
So stand with these people in Minneapolis. Stand with the city across the country. In your cities, keep marching. Keep going. They want us to think that people gonna ask, why you still marching for George Floyd? I thought the cop went to jail. That's what they're gonna ask you. And when they ask you that, you tell them, we still marching because we still want justice. That wasn't justice. That ain't justice. It ain't justice until we get legislative change. It ain't justice until we get racism done. It ain't justice until we policing ourselves. Okay? Black people, they want us to be trapped in our communities. That's what it's about. It's still like slavery. We like to shackle as slaves. You ever notice that every time something like this happens, it's usually revolving around a traffic stop or something like that. Cars and stopping us from traveling. Because black people traveling is the most non-racist experience you can have in your goddamn life. Hopping in your car by yourself. They don't want us to travel. They want us to be afraid to move around. They want us to stay trapped in our communities. Until we end all of that, we're not gonna fucking stop. We gonna keep on marching. We gonna keep on fighting. We gonna keep on stepping for change until our kids can live in a world where they don't gotta go through the stuff that George Floyd went through. Or nobody else. Or Dante or nobody else. And we gonna keep on fighting in Minnesota, y'all the staple. I respect all the activists out here. Love and support to all the activists out here. This wouldn't be possible without y'all. I'm only here, I'm a servant of the people. I'm only here to uplift y'all voices and to get behind y'all. Get behind these activists. Y'all need to be interviewing these activists in Minnesota. And not just these celebrity activists, not just these people that show up. These people been out here every fucking day fighting for change. And they got stories. They getting shot with rubber bullets. They got bruises. They getting beat by the same police that we arguing using excessive force on us.
Yes!
We fighting against excessive force while they're using excessive force on us. We got stories to tell. Y'all better talk to these people. Every media outlet in the world out here. If y'all ain't talking to the people in Minnesota on the ground, then y'all ain't talking to the people that y'all need to be talking to. So why are y'all out here if y'all not gonna tell our story? I thought y'all was journalists. I thought y'all tried to get to the bottom of the truth. Okay, if you a real life journalist, you need to be telling the stories of the people instead of spreading that propaganda every chance that y'all get. Okay, I ain't gonna hog this mic too long. I apologize. I just gotta speak my piece. I love my people. I love the city of Minneapolis. I love the motherfucking movement, and we gonna stay connected. We gonna keep going. We gonna unite, and ain't nothing they gonna do to stop this change. This the revolution. This is our time for change, and we not gonna stop till we get change. This not a negotiation. This a motherfucking demand. Okay? This is not a negotiation. This is a demand, and we won't stop until we get change. That's their fucking problem. They think we negotiating with them. We ain't fucking negotiating with America. We ain't negotiating with these white folks at the top. We ain't negotiating with these police. This our city, this our country, this our town.
To make change, you gotta break the fucking chains.
To make change, you gotta break the chains. Alright? What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
If we don't get it,
Shut it down!
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 don't get it,
Shut it down!
if we don't get it,
Shut it down!
I love my people, y'all.
Love you too, man.
Let me tell y'all something. See, they reimagine police as slave catching patrols. They reimagine slavery with prisons. We are not trying to reimagine police. We are trying to abolish the police. Now, a lot of y'all don't want to hear that this system is this system is too racist and too corrupt to fix. Let me hear y'all say you can't reform racism. Say you can't reform racism.
You can't reform racism.
You cannot reform this racist system. It must be taken down. We must reimagine public safety as a whole and not continue to pour money. You can't keep training racist cops. How many more millions do we have to put into equipment, into training before folks understand that this model of policing is not working for black and brown people in America? We got to understand that this is not radical. This is the only change that we could demand. We have to abolish the police department and reimagine public safety. Make some noise! Say his name.
George Floyd!
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 When I say George Floyd, you say Dante Wright. George Floyd.
Dante Wright!
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 Everybody out here, name your city. Where you coming from? I see D-Town. I'm from Chicago. Where my Chicagoans at? Detroit in the building somewhere. Detroit. Minnesota. Make some noise, Minnesota. If George don't get it, shut it down. If George don't get it, shut it down. If George don't get it, shut it down. If George don't get it. Hey, yo. Let me say something real quick. Hey, let me say something real quick. Listen up. No. What we need to do, we in a verdict right now. You hear me? We don't need no divided or none of that. We need everybody to make themselves over there. We need to stay on one page with each other. You feel me? Let me know. What we need, bro, is we got everybody. George Floyd. George Floyd. He's standing up. Who got the strength?
If George don't get it,
shut it down.
George don't get it.
Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Wait, why are we marching that way? No, that doesn't make sense.
Y'all been waiting a real long time to see some
Y'all ready to march that way? You want to march this way? We all about to march in one area. A house that's divided can't stand together. And that's what it is right now. We too divided up. We need to be on one page. Look, you see that right there and over there? We too divided. You feel me? We need to be on the same page.
In this city, in this country, in this world. And today we have the chance in less than 10 minutes to see that. And y'all are going to see different reactions from people. And y'all are here for a certain reason. And it's a historical reason. You are here watching history in the making. You're watching a military-occupied state right now. Tim Walz has turned this state into a sundown town. And at 5 p.m. we're going to have a rally here. But for right now, in the next 10 minutes, you're going to witness history. And what do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
Do we want it tomorrow?
No!
Do we want it next week?
No!
Do we want it next year?
No!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
For who?
George Floyd!
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 What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
And you need to think about what you're going to do when this verdict drops. What do you want for your community, regardless of the verdict? I don't need a Hennepin County government center to let me know if I matter or not. You don't need a Hennepin County government center to let you know if you matter or not. This verdict is going to determine what we see for policing, government, and politics going forward for this city. And if George don't get it,
Shut it down!
if George don't get it,
Shut it down!
if George don't get it,
Shut it
I
down!
said if George don't get it,
Shut it
I
down!
said if George don't get it,
Shut it
I
down!
said if George don't get it,
Shut it
I
down!
said if George don't get it.
Shut it down!
And I'll leave y'all with this. Justice is living in a world where George Floyd was never murdered. Justice is living in a world where Derek Chauvin understood white supremacy from the age of 5. Justice is a lot of these folks here, a lot of these white faces, having conversations with their family members, with their counterparts, with their co-workers. The work is going to need to continue going forward regardless of the verdicts. We can celebrate for a day, but we need to continue this work going forward. We can celebrate for a day, but we need to continue this work going forward. We can celebrate for a day, but we need to continue this work going forward, right? So I want y'all to recognize why you're out here. Know why you're out here. And really dig deep into your heart why you're going to stay here. And why we're going to rally regardless of the verdicts. We're going to demand justice regardless of the verdict. Because justice is living in a world where Dante Wright was never murdered. Justice is living in a world where an excuse, oops, I reached for my taser and I have my gun, it's not a reality. Bullshit. Justice is living in a world where Minnesota does not lead the nation in racial disparity for education, employment, and law enforcement. Justice is living in a world where we have these conversations and don't try to cover it up. And we came out here for George Floyd. What's his name?
George Floyd!
Say his name!
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 George Floyd!
What's his name?
George Floyd!
What's his name?
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
What's his name?
George Floyd!
What's his name?
George Floyd!
We don't need nothing in that building to let us know what we saw. We all saw murder. We all know Chauvin is guilty. When I say Chauvin, y'all say guilty. Chauvin!
Guilty!
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 And no matter what happens in that building, all
civilians how to deal with their oppression. Regardless of the verdict of this trial, every single oppressive system that led to the murder of George Floyd has remained in place. Therefore, regardless of the verdict, people are still being oppressed. Therefore, people can act however they feel necessary. However they feel necessary. Because justice is not just convicting Chauvin. It's making sure that another George Floyd doesn't happen. And in the midst of this trial, there's been Dalal E. There has been Dante Wright. There have been numerous names that I've had to learn from across this nation. All while the police have been under the spotlight. They don't care. They don't care. They showed you time. They showed us time and time again. They do not care. Justice. If we're talking about justice, what does justice look like to you? What does justice look like to you? For me, justice will look like having a system in place that protects my black life like they're protecting this courthouse right now.
That's right. He's a serial killer. He's a serial killer. He killed 5 people.
How about when my life is under attack, they send in the National Guard to protect me? How about white folks on Facebook and Twitter and wherever they post? When my life is under attack, how about they talk about my life the same way they talk about the Dollar Tree getting looted?
That's right. That's right. Fuck the Dollar Tree.
Because all them buildings, all that property can be brought back. That money's not going nowhere. The money's still there. My life, when it's taken, it's not coming back.
That's right.
George Floyd will never take another breath on this planet again.
That's right.
George Floyd will never take another breath on this planet again. And until these systems are uprooted and recreated with everyone's best interest in mind, we are going to stay out in these streets. We are going to continue fighting until I feel the same justice that this damn building feels. No justice. No peace. 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 Shut it down. 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 I said George don't get it.
Shut it down.
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 That's right.
What up, everybody? How y'all feeling?
If George don't get it,
Yo.
shut it down.
Who street?
Our street.
Who street?
Our street.
Who street?
Our street.
Who street?
Our street.
Who city?
Our city.
Who city?
Our city.
Who city?
Our city.
Who city?
Our city.
Who street?
Our street.
Who street?
Our street.
Who street? Who street?
Our street.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
When do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
When do we want it?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
If we don't get it,
Burn it down.
if we don't get it,
Shut it down.
we don't get it.
Shut it down.
Cause Black Lives Matter.
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 Show me what democracy sounds like. Show me what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy feels like.
This is what democracy feels like.
Show me what democracy sounds like.
This is what democracy sounds
No
like.
justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Fuck these racist ass.
Police.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
Fuck these racist ass.
Say what?
Alright, my name is Frank Nitty, right? We out here. I'm from Milwaukee,
justice and we out here for change. Alright? Now look, after this verdict, it don't matter what they say. We still ain't got justice. We still ain't got change. Until we get the law change we need, until we get the things that we need in the cities across the country. We gonna keep on marching. We gonna keep on fighting. We gonna keep on going, okay? Y'all need to understand that. Like he said, we can celebrate for one day, but they think this the end. They think y'all gonna go home tomorrow. Y'all ain't gonna be back out here. They think they gonna be able to ask y'all why y'all still saying George Floyd's name. We gonna say George Floyd's name forever. We gonna hit these streets until we get changed. And then even when we get changed, we still gonna say George Floyd's name. Because these are streets. At the end of the day, it don't matter what they say or what they do. We the people. We the people. What up, Dante Wright brother right there? Alright? I want y'all to show love to Dante Wright brother. His family going through this. And y'all keep the same energy y'all kept for George Floyd, for that man and his family. Alright? Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Let's do Dante Wright, alright? Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. See, that's the thing. We can get justice for George Floyd and they'll go kill another one of us tomorrow. That's why we gotta keep on fighting. That's why we gotta keep on marching. That's why we gotta keep on going until we get changed. Alright? Now, we got about a couple minutes before the verdict get read, okay? We got a couple more people coming up here. We want to keep y'all fired up. We want to keep y'all going. We want to keep y'all warm. We want to let everybody know, let the city know, let these people that's in these buildings out here, let them downtown know that we going to keep on fighting for change, and we going to stay together. We going to stick together, and we ain't going to stop until we get change. Justice for George Floyd. Justice for Dante Wright. I love y'all. I love the activists in this city. Let's go.
Say his name!
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd! Say his name! George Floyd! Say his name! George Floyd! Say his name! George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd! Say his name! George Floyd!
Black lives, they matter, yeah!
Black lives, they matter here!
Black lives, they matter, yeah!
Black lives, they matter here!
Native lives, they matter, yeah!
Native lives, they matter here!
Native lives, they matter, yeah!
Native lives, they matter here!
Trans lives, they matter, yeah!
Trans lives, they matter here!
Trans lives, they matter, yeah!
Trans lives, they matter here!
Women lives, they matter, yeah!
Women's lives, they matter here!
Women's lives, they matter, yeah!
Women's lives, they matter here!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
What's his name?
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
What's his name?
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
What's his name?
George Floyd!
When I say his name, say Dante Wright. Say his name!
Dante Wright!
What's his name?
Dante Wright!
Say his name!
Dante Wright!
What's his name?
Dante Wright!
Say his name!
Dante Wright!
What's his name?
Dante Wright!
So the woman who killed Dante Wright was also part of the cover-up of Kobe Heisler. Say his name!
Dante Wright!
What's his name?
Dante Wright!
Say his name!
Dante Wright!
What's his name?
Dante Wright!
Say his name!
Dante Wright!
When I say his name, say the law is. Say his name!
The law is!
Say his name!
The law is!
What's his name?
The law is!
Say his name!
The law is!
What's his name?
The law is!
So we need to care about all the stolen lives, okay? Because it's been a tough damn week for us. Because they keep murdering people. Ain't shit changed. We want justice in this conviction, but we want to make sure that we're going to be safe in the future. We want systemic change. When I say their name, you say which one? Say their name.
Which one?
Say their name.
Which one?
Say their name.
Which one?
Say their name.
Which one?
Say their name.
Which one?
If George don't get it,
Shut it down!
if George don't get it,
Shut it down!
if George don't get it,
Shut it down!
if Dante don't get it,
Shut it down!
if Dante don't get it,
Shut it down!
if Dante don't get it.
Shut it down!
Let's go!
Let's go.
I want to thank you all for being out here this evening. August 19, 2009, Justin Tigan was brutally beat to death by the St. Paul police and thrown inside of a trash dumpster. He happened to be the father of my son and my fiance. And I met Jamar Clark's family a few years ago, and we decided to start bringing the families together to fight in unity and solidarity. There are so many families that led up to George Floyd. There are hundreds of families that led up to Dante Wright. For every high-profile case that you see, there has been the verdict came. What is it? So with that being said, please get to know the families that are out here. Get to know the families that led up to George Floyd.
Hey, I'm gonna do another live video.
Okay.
I'll make it public.
We're going to
MNT activists. Everybody go to MNT activists on Instagram.
Okay.
Quiet, please. Come here. Oh my God, why am I so big? Yeah, no, I'm not going to get off live. Come on up. All three counts!
we took to the streets. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different. That's right. We fight so hard. Yes, yes. So they keep trying to tell us that they feel sorry for us. They keep coming to have they knew better. They keep coming to they knew better. We need to have a next, y'all, and they need to be held accountable. They knew better. Every time they do something, we need to hold them accountable. Every time. Now you heard the sister up here before. She said she's with families, supporting families, and we demand that the families get justice. So we demand we're going to D.C. on August 28th. Hold on. So we're going to demand that they reopen all the cases. We're going to go to August 28th, and we're going to demand they open all the cases. Repeat after me. Reopen all the cases.
We work hard for this shit, man. We work hard for this shit. We was in the streets every day. Every day.
Reopen what?
Every day.
Reopen what?
Politicians. Voter registration. Mutual aid. We've been doing it.
Reopen what?
We did this shit.
Reopen what? Reopen what?
We fucking did this shit, man. We did this shit, man. We did this shit.
Y'all come with us. We're going to D.C. It ain't over.
Period.
It ain't over. Repeat after me. It ain't over. It ain't over. It ain't over. It ain't over. We won the day. We're going to win the next day. The next day. We're going to win the day after that. We got to keep fighting, y'all. Keep fighting. Because you know what? If you fight,
and we
you can
we
win.
want justice for Breonna Taylor. That's what we want justice for.
We can win.
The whole damn system is guilty as hell. All right, convict, send us to the cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. All right, convict, send us to the cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. All right, convict, send us to the cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. All right, convict, send us to the cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell.
We did that. We did that.
We've been hitting these streets, right? We've been protesting out here all this time. They've been hitting us with rubber bullets. They've been hitting us with tear gas. They hit us with everything we got. And we kept on fighting. And we kept on fighting. And we kept on fighting. Guilty first.
I saw you in yesterday. That's why I knew the party. That's why I knew the protest.
I know.
One down.
Derek!
Dante Wright!
We're not going to stop. We're about to go back and get justice for everybody.
Period! We're not gonna give up.
Long year.
No!
No!
No! No! No!
No! Fuck they fence, fuck they curfews, we gonna keep going no matter what. Fuck they rubber bullets, fuck they tear gas, fuck all that shit y'all do to us. Y'all cannot stop the people. You cannot stop the people. We are here and we will not stop until we get changed.
United will never be defeated. The people 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 united will never be defeated. The people
United will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united. Woo! We set the precedent for voting too for killer cops. So
Now it's time for Minnesota to fucking talk about it. It's about time to have that conversation. All the way from Kenwood to Eden Prairie to Champlain Park. It's time to stop protecting killer cops. It's time to stop protecting white silence. It's time to stop protecting your country. It's time to have these conversations. It's real uneasy. Because without struggle, no progress. No 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 struggle, no progress. And when we set up, we did that. We're not gonna stop. We did that. No, son, we did that shit, man. We don't want to see another member added to family-supporting families against police violence. We don't want another member to be added to that. And we want to beg. I want to just say this right now. This woman right here, Tashira, some of these black women that have been out here in the street, the revolution will be led by black women.
We need 3,000 victories. So over 400 years. That's it. I want to take this whole country back. This whole fucking country. Only the beginning. That's it.
We all out here. We all out here.
We got this victory, but now we have to abolish every system in America that doesn't work for black people.
Absolutely will. And the work that they've done is not go unnoticed. And the work that they will do going forward will not go unnoticed.
Lives that have been stolen here in Minnesota that we need to reopen the cases and fight for them. And the reason from the Dante, right? Just the start. I can't even talk about it. I'm so emotional.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Tashira. Thank you, Tashira. We go back to the Obama campaign.
Yeah, we were Obama campaign together.
Go back to the Obama campaign. Full circle.
Full circle.
George Floyd! 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 What? Who are you with?
I'm with Rupley.
Rupley, for sure.
Yeah, and so if you could just.
I don't know about that.
Hey guys.
But this is the beginning.
First of all, 2, 4, 6, 8. No more violence, no more hate. 2, 4, 6, 8.
No more violence, no more hate. 2, 4, 6, 8. No more violence, no more hate.
Okay, so I'm missing my bag. It's a small backpack and it's black with red clouds on it. And if somebody could please return it, that would be great. Oh, thank you. Thank you, my sister. Okay,
We did that.
yeah,
We did that. We was in the streets every day.
I'm gonna be back.
Going crazy over there.
My life is not working.
We did that.
My life is not working.
We did that. God is good.
God is great.
God is great.
Oh, that's not funny.
Let the people they want through.
Take a deep breath, y'all. Take a deep breath.
Let the people they want through. Okay, is the sound set up? Courtney wants to speak on the sound.
Yeah. We're gonna get in a second.
yes. That was
Please back up from the truck. Back up from the truck. I need you to give the truck at least 10 feet of space.
Hey, everybody. Let's go. If you back up, y'all back up.
some room. Alright, we need 6 feet of space. We need 6 feet of space. Let's keep the spirit of celebration out here and give our speakers some room.
Yo, how y'all feeling right now?
Alright, I need press and people 6 feet back, guys. Alright, give us room to breathe. Give us room to breathe. We're trying to sick and to breathe out here.
Go ahead. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up.
Everyone back up. All the press needs to back up. Courtney's about to speak on the mic. You will get your shot. Back up.
You got your picture. You got your picture. Let's go. Back up, sir.
All right. I don't see people moving. I'm talking. I don't see people moving. It's like all you right there. Back up. How's it feel?
I feel good.
Oh, crap. Sorry, hang on 1 second.
All three!
Be able to get here?
All three!
So we have Courtney Ross.
He asked me if he could pray with me because he knew I was down and out. So I want everyone to remember, whatever you pray for, whatever you believe in, God is good. God proved that today. Thank you, Father God. Thank you, Father God. Give me everything.
420, gotta celebrate 420. This is a good day.
Yo, it's not ready. Yo, wait till we get back to this. Wait till we get back. The NYPD just whip it. Ooh, I can't wait.
Y'all need to come to Florida because we actually need it. They just signed this HB1 bill. We've been fighting all year. And like literally, it's taking me out.
Let me take this lens off.
We have to like.
You from New York? I'm from Harlem, but I'm not like from Harlem. I'm from born.
Yeah. Would you talk to us about what happened just right now?
Which one? Yes.
So tell us how you feel about the verdict.
Honestly, I felt a relief. I cried. You know, I'm Caroline. I'm from Black Women's March in New York. We have been marching since May 30th. So all of us are here. So it was a huge relief, happiness, and you know, everything else. But it's just one. You know, like right now, exactly, I don't know how many minutes after that, everybody's like, okay, we've done this. We have to move to the next one, unfortunately. And there's a whole system to be fixed. That's how I feel.
What would you like to be fixed? How would you like the system to look like?
I would like no names anymore. No hashtags. That has to be fixed. That can be fixed. That is the problem. And that's not a black problem, a black problem. Racism is a white problem. And that's how it needs to be fixed. That's why black people are on the street, right? So the solution is to fix the system that allows black people to die, period. My name is Caroline Gombe. I'm the founder of Black Women's March in New York.
Spell your first and your last name.
Caroline. Last name Gombe. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Let's get them pretty tight so you get the mic up in there to get over all this other noise. You know
what I mean? Would you like to do?
I mean, if they want to.
Yeah.
If they want to.
Talk about Florida.
I just would like to ask you, how do you feel about the verdict?
And what's good for them?
How I feel about the verdict? Honestly, I am happy that it came, like, he was found guilty on all 3 counts. But I also feel like this isn't over. Like, the fight isn't over and everything. Like, I still feel riled up. I have a bigger fight to fight right now, especially in Florida. I'm not from here. I'm actually from Florida. They actually just signed the HB1 bill that's basically taking away our right to protest. They're actually trying to give civilians the right to run over protesters. So like I said, this fight isn't over. I mean, I'm happy that they have found him guilty on all 3 counts. But Florida do need y'all help, and we are coming at y'all from Florida. So thank you.
What would you like people to do to look at your...
I'm sorry?
What would you like people to think and do to get the outcome that you would like in the society? How would you like the society to change?
I would like people to come out more. Like, instead of sitting at home waiting on the verdict, people should be out here with us as well waiting on the verdict. They should be outside like we are outside waiting on the verdict. Even if you're not in this state, y'all should be at y'all courthouses waiting on the verdict, I guess, to show them that y'all are serious and everything. Because this is not just a problem in Minneapolis. This is a problem all around the United States. So that's how I feel. Everyone should just show their support. And just because, like, a lot of people feel like protesting don't work, this protest worked. We've been doing this all year, fighting for George Floyd, and we still not done.
What's your name?
Kamani Miller.
Could you spell both for me?
My name is Kamoni-Miller.
And that's your last name, or?
Last name is Miller.
Thank you so much. Really
You're welcome. Thank you.
Would you like to say something?
I don't mind. Yeah, go ahead. What question y'all want? Yeah, I don't know. Go ahead. Leave. Go ahead.
So I just wanted to, could you tell me how you felt when you heard the verdict today?
Unreal. I was taken aback. I didn't think it was real, and I still don't think it's real. There's a tactic in this system. Like my sister said, there's a bigger problem in the system. So that's what we got to attack next, you know. It still feel unreal. I'll let you know. It's going to take me a couple days. I'm the type of person that I take it and I settle it with my stomach. But I'm proud that he got convicted of all charges. But I want to look at this picture. We did not get justice for what led to George Floyd to his state. He was a guy who did drugs occasionally. He used a fake $20 bill. And that's not a reason for a man to die. But we have to build a system which provides for each and one of us, no matter what skin color or working class, what class we come from, or what skin color we have, especially black folks, especially African Americans who built this country. You dig what I'm saying? We built this country, so I think we deserve the best of what this country can give, right?
What's your name?
I'm Amp the Truth, AMPDATRUTH. Just like that.
Okay, your last name is
I don't go by my last name. I go by my moniker when I'm out here. When I'm an activist. I kind of changed my name, so I'm in the middle of that transition right there.
And how would you like guys to introduce you?
Amp the Truth, AMPDA Truth. You know, just Amp the Truth.
Where are you from?
Thank you for coming out. Thank you. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. Thank you. Thank you.
And there's tons of work to do, man. Tons of work.
Tons of work. We got to do a lot of things. Thank you.
The first step.
It's not. It's not. We got to celebrate the night and then keep moving. You did? You did.
See you in the next one.
We good?
Yeah. You got enough?
Sorry. How did you feel when the verdict came up? What was your emotion?
I feel vindicated. As an organizer who's been organizing in New York for almost a year now consistently, I feel vindicated, but I also feel emboldened. I feel as though this makes us unstoppable. I feel like the fact that we were able to secure justice for George Floyd means that we can secure justice for every black person who was killed by police. And now we're looking to justice for Breonna Taylor. We're looking to justice for Daunte Wright. We're looking to justice for Tamir Rice, because black people do deserve justice. And this is a message to every little black child coming up that your life matters. And if your life is taken at the hands of the state, there will be consequences. And I hope every killer cop is watching and paying attention, because today the Black Lives Matter movement served notice on you. We are serving notice on you today that going forward, if you take our lives, there will be consequences, and that consequence will be dying behind the same bars that you spent your lives putting us behind. This is it. This is the end. This is the beginning of a new era. Activism works. Marching works. Millennials did this. Gen Z did this. We stayed in those streets and we demanded justice, and now we have justice. And now we want justice for everyone. Kimberly Bernard.
Would you spell it for me?
I'm sorry?
Would you spell it?
KIMBERLYBERNARD.
And you are from New York?
Kimberly Bernard, yeah, from New York.
Thank you so much. You are fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Give us what we want on burn.
Oh.
Hey.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Oh, yeah, the whole thing.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Woo! So what do you think more?
I think maybe one more just for safety.
Okay. Let's get away from this loud audio. Let's go back here.
New York.
Like somebody.
Come on.
I'm calling you.
Young revolutionaries.
Because America was on trial. This is a jury show that we can.
Peaceful organizations. I don't know if but there are people. There are people. Excuse me, sorry.
It's the person.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then have a setup shop.
He has a music playing though.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, would you like to talk to us about what happened today and how you feel about it?
I feel great.
Okay, tell me again. Tell me all the emotions that you feel today.
Well, I think I'm definitely still processing the emotions. I don't think it's hit me quite yet. But I'm overjoyed. I'm very happy because this morning I didn't have no hope that this man was even going to go to jail. And I find out he's gone. He got all 3 counts. I thought it was just going to be manslaughter, if anything. So I'm happy. Happy is one emotion for sure. I think I don't know. You got other questions to ask me?
Do you think this is the beginning of a big change in this society?
I think yes. Yes, this is something the entire world was behind. Now we got another murder that we got to handle. I think this is momentum for not just African Americans, but everybody that suffers from police brutality, everybody that suffers from being treated wrongly by members of authority. Because this lets you know that you're not untouchable. That if you do wrong, you have to suffer the consequences. So yes, I definitely believe that.
For you, for an African American in this society, how does this verdict make you feel? Like thinking about future, about how you're gonna, live your life now.
I don't think it's gonna change the way I live my life or anything like that. But I do believe that this takes a lot of weight off of my shoulders. It takes a lot of stress away from me. I was outside every day last summer protesting this, and it's something that's near and dear to my heart. I've had so many conversations with my mother. I've had so many conversations with my friends about how to handle yourself around the police, about having to do X, Y, and Z extra things around the police. I've been pulled over by the police. Minneapolis police in general, I've had so many bad experiences with. I've had my mother crying to me, telling me just how to conduct myself with the police in hypothetical situations. So, like I said, this takes a lot of weight off of my shoulders. It helps me to feel so much better because I know that now at least there is some precedent that if the police do something wrong, they will be held accountable for it.
What's your name?
Gabriel.
And your last name?
It's Ijo, I-J-J-O.
Could you spell both for us?
My first name is Gabriel, G-A-B-R-I-E-L. Last name's Ijo, I-J-J-O.
And you are from here?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
And it's like you walk. I can't even imagine that. It's like not knowing that anytime you walk in public, you have a liability.
We get some extra.
Actually, we don't envision that.
When you saw George Floyd, you all stood up. We had no choice. We had no choice. We had no choice from the demands of justice. And when we showed up, we went to jail. And when we show up today, we go to prison. And the fight continues on. The fight continues on. We need the other three to get locked up too, right? Make sure your boots are on the ground for the next several months.
Look at this now. She's on the streets.
Do you want to try to run the mic up there? Just hold it closer, and I'll get a shot of her, and we'll just work independent. She just wants to get in front.
Hey, if you're going to be here, you will want to go out and talk to you.
Once again, everybody.
Can everybody hear him? He's about to start. Go ahead, brother.
First, I'd like to begin. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mohammed Ibrahim. M-O-H-A-M-E-D. Last name Ibrahim. I-B-R-A-H-I-M. And I am the Deputy Director with CARE Minnesota. And I'd like to begin by saying, guilty as charged! Yeah. And this guilty verdict is a testimony for the people of Minnesota. It is the people who demanded for a higher charge. It is the people who demanded for all police officers to get arrested. And it is the people who brought forth this guilty verdict. But today is a reminder that the future ahead of us is brighter than yesterday. Today is a testament that we still have more work to do because there are still 3 remaining officers that also need to be charged to the fullest extent of the law and convicted. And we also have to remember that we will not forget about Kimberly Potter, as we also are demanding for her charges to be upgraded to murder charges. And today, I want to first of all thank the broader coalition that we've been working with, that have worked tirelessly since the beginning of all of this tragedy, including Communities Not Against Police Brutality, the Minnesota Justice Coalition, the Racial Justice Network, Two Cities Justice for Jamar, and Family Supporting Families. You can't forget about the families. Family Supporting Families Against Police Violence, Be Their Voices, and so many others. But once again, to begin, I'd like us to go ahead and introduce my Executive Director for the Council of American Islamic Relations, Jailani Hussein.
All right. First of all, my name is Jailani Hussein, Jaylani-Hussein. I'm the Executive Director for the Council on American Islamic Relations. And the first thing that I'm going to say is guilty, guilty, guilty. And I personally, deep down in my heart, in this moment, as a person who is fasting, believes that this victory came because the higher power stepped in. Because God stepped in. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. I want every single person who hears this message to know that today we got justice inside the courthouse. And now we are wanting justice outside the courthouse. If we get only justice inside the courthouse, but not outside the courthouse, then we have no answer for Dante Wright's mom, and we don't have no answer for many other families who are yet to be named because the system is still flawed. The system is still designed to kill black men. We don't need a court system to stop the brutality. We need policies to hold police accountable. And until we get that, we are only be able to get justice inside the courthouse after we lose a loved one, and we are not ready for that. Today, Minnesota, God chose us for this moment. We did not know it. We didn't choose this moment, but God chose us for this moment. And those 12 juries carried the burden of bringing justice. Many of us were uneasy about today. Many of us had a lot of anxiety, and that is because we live in a system where a black person can be killed and not have the same justice system if you are a white person who's killed. But today, on this street, on this court, we have said enough is enough. And we have gotten a white officer who killed a black man to be guilty as charged. And so today we celebrate, but we do not put all our hope into this guilty verdict, because there are many families who did not get this type of justice. There are 470 families in Minnesota alone since 2000, and thousands of families across this country who have never got the justice that we saw displayed here today. Families who asked and pleaded for help, never got the cameras that we have today.
No justice,
never got the sympathies that we got today. So today is an important day for all of us. But it's a day to hold a strong mirror in front of us. Because if you think only Derek Chauvin is guilty, I would remind you the Minneapolis Police Department is guilty. The city of Minneapolis is guilty. The state of Minnesota is guilty. This country is guilty. And that we say since the killing of George Floyd on 38th in Chicago. The world moved. The world saw the brutality, and they saw it at the comfort of their home in a time we could not move because of pandemic. I believe that we needed that moment. We needed that moment. We needed less distractions to see the brutality that we have allowed our tax dollars to create, our tax dollars to kill and punish. But today, on this day, we are moving forward. And I want to say this personally today. The thought that came into my mind when I heard guilty, guilty, and guilty was George Floyd on his last day, on his last hours, standing inside Cup Foods, dancing. Dancing. And today, many people who are not born yet are dancing because we got a glimpse of justice. A glimpse of justice. But we have not got full justice until all of these families get justice. We don't have justice until we get the type of economic justice in this country. We don't have justice until we get educational justice for people of color in this country. But today, we are moving forward. And Minnesotans, God chose us. Let's carry on this burden. Let's shine a little bit of a light, a North Star light for the rest of this country, that we shine a light of justice for this country, and we let this guilty verdict flow on the Mississippi River all the way down to Delta to allow this country to taste what it's like for a little bit of victory. A little bit of victory. And with that I say, we thank God Almighty. We thank God Almighty. We thank God Almighty. But guess what? We are not done. Right. If you think we're going home, we're not going home. 3 more officers have killed George Floyd. We need justice from them. And Dante Wright was killed in the middle of this trial to show us that the justice system in this country and accountability has yet to be had. And we will demand justice by any means necessary.
One down, 3 to go.
One down, 3 to go. One down, 3 to go. One down, 3 to go. One down, 3 to go. One down, 3 to go.
One down, 4 more to go. And next, I'd like to go ahead and introduce the founder and the president of the Families Supporting Families Against Police Brutality, Tashira Garrett.
They're thick like peanut butter. Go ahead.
I've been out here for over a year, yelling for justice for all stolen lives. And I want to say that when Justin Target was beat to death and thrown in a dumpster 11 years ago, I knew that there would be more. And May 25th, 2020, that more came because God told me it was going to start coming out. And it came out last year. And I've been out here fighting with my boots on the ground. And I've been yelling to the rooftop. But I've been yelling up to God, and today He let rain, justice rain down upon us. The floodgates of heaven is opened up now. And we got the justice that we deserve. And I will not stop fighting. They say we got 4 more to go. We got hundreds more to go. There's over 470 bodies in the state of Minnesota in the last 20 years that have led up to George Floyd. So that means we got over 470 more officers to go. We want them off the streets. We want them out of our communities. We want those officers that allowed Sherrill to die in that jail. We want them out of the jails. All of them that have no value for the black.
Talk that. And you cannot say that you is innocent. Talk that.
Yes, all of the officers that are involved with all of these hate crimes, because that's what they are. We gotta call them out for what they are. These are hate crimes, and these are murders, and we got all these officers to go. I don't want you guys to just shout and scream for the ones that hit the media. You shout and scream for every last one. Every last one. Every last one of our families deserve justice, and they killed a lot of people in Minnesota before George Floyd, and we want justice for them all. And we will not stop. I will not stop until we get justice for Ardell Sherrill, Justin Tiger, Cordell Andy, Marcus Golden, Kobe Eisler, Travis Jordan, Isaac Jamar Clark from Lando Castile, and Delai, and all Brian Quinones and all stolen lives. We will not stop because it's too many more murders out here, and people blue and glow over the ones that they know about. But it's time to fight for everybody. It's time to fight for everybody. And we will not stop until we win. Families supporting families against police violence and communities united against police brutality. Minnesota Justice Coalition. Care Minnesota. Be there. Racial Justice Network. We're all fighting together, and we want you to fight for all of the rest of the stolen lives that are out here. Thank you.
God is good. Nobody's missing and none of us innocent men that got out.
Next, I'd like to go ahead and invite the President of the Minnesota Justice Coalition, Jonathan McClellan.
Right. Hello, my name is Jonathan McClellan with the Minnesota Justice Coalition, President of the Minnesota Justice Coalition. We are a part of a collective of organizations that work with the families and the community to draft and advance legislation and other policy initiatives at the Capitol here in St. Paul and in Washington, D.C. It has been a long road to get to this very moment, a moment that is long overdue for not just our community, but for the world. We must not forget how we got here. Boots on the ground, blood, sweat, and tears, many tears. Seeking justice, which has been elusive for communities of color for some time. Let's not forget that this has been a road we have been marching on, fighting on, and dying on for generations. Unfortunately, it is a road we still must travel. We are in the state that has failed to pass reform that would have made an officer lose their job if they were affiliated with a white supremacist organization. We are the state that has communities of color looking like a third world country with the militarization and armament. We are the state that fails to correct the wrongs of the past and the deep wounds it has inflicted on communities of color time and time again. I question if we would have had this verdict had the people not hit the ground demanding justice. If there wasn't this outpouring of grief from the world, if the brave young girl had not recorded that viral video of George Floyd, I ask myself, is this what it takes to get justice for a person of color? Is this really justice? Sure, we have a guilty verdict. Sure, we have a settlement. But will things actually change? Absent any substantive change in policy, has anything really changed? How long before we're back here fighting for justice for another victim of police violence? We are in a state of affairs in our quest to obtain justice and equality, with Minnesota being ground zero of the match that has sparked this outpouring of consciousness for our shared community. We are still here waiting to cash that check that has fallen on a bankrupt system of expedient politicians and administrators and tolerant allies of the same in opposition to progress for a more perfect union. This is where the fight is today, in this moment. The same elected officials who showed up to George Floyd's funeral are some of the biggest roadblocks to progress with legislation today. While other states have taken the leap and believe in their communities and progressing, Minnesota is still beholden to the past. While we have concluded this nightmare in our quest for justice for George Floyd, a new nightmare has begun. A new quest has begun. As George Floyd's daughter put it, her daddy changed the world by showing the reality communities of color face time and time again. George Floyd changed the world by awakening the conscience and the people challenging their very sense of value and moral compass. George Floyd changed the world by showing a black man is a human being. We already knew this, but now you do too. During the funeral of George Floyd, I had the privilege to spend the day with Martin Luther King III, the son of the late Dr. King Jr., and his family. Martin Luther King Jr., a civil rights icon who freely gave his life to teach the world that dreaming was possible. And in that moment, and in our conversation, it was made clear that we cannot stop. We must keep pressing ahead. There's no going back, and the future is forward. We must continue to carry this fight to the legislators around the country. We must change. We must dismantle the systems that allow and have allowed the Derek Chauvins to thrive. We must evolve as a people and as a society. Our greatest failure will be to do nothing knowing what we know. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
go ahead and invite the President of Communities United Against Police Brutality, Michelle Gross.
Thank you. I'm feeling so much like everybody else out here. I'm feeling like guilty, guilty, guilty. Yeah. But I want to talk a minute about some numbers. I want to talk about this. 4. 4 is the number of police officers who have ever been prosecuted in the state of Minnesota for killing a member of the community. Only 4. Now we've got 2. 2 is the number of cops who have been convicted. Now we've got 1. 1 is the number of cops who have been convicted of killing a black man. So the numbers are very telling. I have a few other numbers I'd like to share with you. 26. 26 is the number of complaints that Derek Chauvin had against him with no action by the city of Minneapolis, who allowed that murderer to run the streets.
That ain't right. That ain't right.
4 is the number of lethal force incidents Derek Chauvin was involved in before he killed George Floyd. So you see the numbers that we're talking about here and what this has done to our community? 13 is the number of city council members who have not done one damn thing to stop another George Floyd from happening again. Let us tell it like it is. 9 is the number of bills we have at the legislature now that we cannot get hearings for in the Senate because they are too busy kissing up to the damn cops. Say that.
Someone say that ain't right.
That ain't right. Democrats and Republicans alike in the Senate have blocked our bill. They are trying to tell us that, oh, you know, we can talk now. Now's the time for all of that talking and stuff. Hey, the time for talking is done. The time for action is now. That's it. And furthermore, when we go in these committee hearings and we try to speak about our bills, you know what we hear? We hear, oh, what does the Sheriff's Association say about that? What does the, police chief say about that? It doesn't matter what the Sheriff's Association, what the Chiefs of Police Association, what the MPPOA has to say about this stuff. You have forfeited your right to define public safety for us in our communities. You have forfeited that right. So has our mayor, so has our city council. You have forfeited that right. Sit down, step back. The community will decide what public safety looks like.
That's right, that's right, say that.
That's right. And I just want to add one more thing. 470 is the number of people who have died at the hands of law enforcement since 2000 in Minnesota. 2 have gotten justice. That is unacceptable. We will never stop fighting until all of those families get justice. All of them.
That's right, that's right.
Every last one. And I am so grateful for the people who have taken the streets. I can't even say a number for that because it's been thousands upon thousands upon thousands. And I am so grateful for those people who have taken the streets. What I want them to do is to understand this. This is not the time to fall asleep. This is not the time to be comfortable and say, oh, we got one, let's go home. This is the time to amp up, step up, fight hard, fight for the changes we need so we get real public safety. That is our demand until every one of these stolen lives gets justice. That is our demand. We will not sit down until that happens, and I hope you won't either. Take it to the streets, take it to the legislature, take it to your city council, make it happen.
Next, I'd like to go ahead and invite Courtney Russ.
Yes, Courtney! We love you! You got it, Courtney. We love you, Courtney.
Girlfriend of the late George Floyd.
We love you, Courtney. We love you.
Quite a crowd to look out to.
Good.
We got your back. Any of you that's not from here,
You know, Prince said that, you know, sometimes it snows in April, so this to me has been like a sign from Floyd. I've seen the sun shining, I've seen the snow fall, all these beautiful seasonal changes, which is one of the reasons he loved Minnesota, why he loved Minneapolis so much. Floyd also loved our city because he thought it was so beautiful and diverse. And I agreed with him, but I warned him about that because though we are so diverse, we are also so separated. Minneapolis is one of the most diverse cities, yet we are segregated across this city in little pockets. I know it would be his dream to have this event bring us together. He has never been about divisiveness. He has always been about inclusiveness. I will say it over and over again. Floyd would not forget those who were forgotten. There are so many people out here that need our attention. People that have served time, people that do have problems with addiction, people that do struggle with mental illness. Those are the people that we need to focus on. We are not going to demonize them. We are going to support them and love them because they need us, and that's what Floyd would do. Also, speaking of forgotten, I know I've been given this voice because there have been so many other loved ones that have been killed by the police. And I think of my friend Sashira having to go through this every day, not having any justice for Justin. I don't know how she does it some days. This brings a little bit of relief to know that the system is going to at least try and make some amends in one case, but like we said, this is only one case. There is so much more work to do. We need to reopen cases. We need to re-examine those that have not been served. We need to bring justice to everyone.
Yes, that's right. That's right. That's right.
I'm going to leave you today just saying what I know Floyd would say. Father God, thank you for bringing us here today. Father God, thank you for this verdict. I love you, Floyd. Praise God, everyone.
We love you. We love you. We love you.
Next, I'd like to invite Representative Thompson and Senator Fawcett.
Say with me. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Hey, hold on over here. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Guilty. My name is Omar Fonte. I'm the state senator for District 62. I represent the district in which George Floyd was murdered in South Minneapolis. Here with my brother John Thompson, District 67A, East Side, St. Paul. Today is a beautiful day. Guilty, guilty, guilty. But today is just a start. Yeah. Today is just a start. Listen. This is step one. It was just one man. Now we need action. We need action in our city councils. We need action in the state legislature. Me and John, we have legislation in the city, in the Senate, and in the House. The Republicans have been the enemies to progress up till now. They haven't had one single hearing on any police accountability bill. All of us, we're taxpayers. We're paying the police to murder us. Not only that, we're paying for the settlements for the MPD officers once they murder our people. That ain't right. That ain't right.
That ain't right.
So what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We're not gonna disappear. We're not stopping. We're gonna keep fighting for justice. We're gonna fight for Hardell, for Jalal Eid, Minnesota. We've seen 2 national murders right now in 1 year. 2. One, George Floyd, and now Daunte Wright. We were a national shame. I'll say that again. We were a national shame. But because of Michelle, because of Mohammed and Zainab and Jelani, because of the people that put the boots on the ground, Minnesota, we're going to start a national movement. Let's go. We will start a national movement. It'll start here in Minneapolis, in Brooklyn Center, in Minnesota, and in America. Talk to us, John.
I told y'all! Guilty! Guilty! That's the catchphrase in Minneapolis today. Guilty! 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 And he got some shiny handcuffs because he was guilty! 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 And his bond was revoked because he was guilty! 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 I'm going to say it over and over again for the rest of the week. It feels good.
One more time, one more time.
Guilty! 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 Listen, there are so many lives that have been stolen. We started this journey in 2016 after the murder of my friend Philando Castile. And I promised them that I'd be right here as a state representative. They didn't believe me. And so now I'm right here right now trying to push policy that pushes Minnesota forward when it comes to police reform. And we're still getting the same pushback from our Republican counterparts who refuse to hear anything about police reform because they're in the pockets of the Minnesota Chiefs Association, the Minneapolis Police Federation, and all the other police federations, and they come to our hearings and tell us, well, the Chiefs Association don't agree with this, or the Peace Officers Association don't agree with that. The Peace Officers Association, the Chiefs Association don't get to tell our community what reform look like on our tax dollars. Exactly. We pay taxes like everybody else, and we're tired of it. I have a bill for, what, ending qualified immunity, ending no-knock warrants, body camera videos. None of that's being heard in the Senate. Right? We're trying to start a task force so that they can weed out the white supremacists, the Proud Boys, and the Oath Keepers, and the 3%ers. Yeah, we had a police officer right here in Minneapolis who was a member of the Minnesota Heat, the city Heat, a known white supremacist biker gang, 56 service complaints, 11 lawsuits, and was involved in three police-involved shootings. Lo and behold, we showed him to his house, he retired. I think it has to do, we ain't gonna say his name because I'm gonna be in trouble. But, y'all can say his name, what's his name? And he was, wait. And the city of Minneapolis promoted him to sergeant. Right? When my friend Philando Castile was murdered, and lieutenant, they promoted him. When Philando Castile was murdered in 2016, we were sold on implicit bias training, de-escalation training, more money for training. And then we see right now today, Kim Potter, who's the field training officer in Brooklyn Center, killed Dante. We see Officer Chauvin, who's the field training officer and a sergeant, killed George Floyd. So we know the type of training that our tax dollars are getting. Y'all no longer get to tell us what police reform looks like. Exactly. I want to encourage a lot of black men today to do exactly what me and this man did. You see us, you can be us. Go to that doggone ballot, put your name on the ballot, and remove these people out of office who have been keeping us oppressed for as long as I've been black. It is still, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I have to tell y'all, this ain't over. There'll be another police-involved killing in this state by the end of this summer. Until we put some accountability pieces in the legislation, the police don't have the fear of nothing because they get backed up by legislators who used to be ex-police officers. Yes. They've infiltrated our system. They've infiltrated the policing system. They've infiltrated our judicial system. They've infiltrated our legislative body, our judicial body, our doggone county prison. These white supremacists are serious about keeping black people oppressed, and these are ideal jobs for white supremacists. They are ideal jobs. If you hate black people, I'd love to lock you up and kick you in the ass and put you in jail and make you a felon and kill you. I'm not speaking no rhetoric. I'm just black in the state of Minnesota, and it sucks to be black here. Knowing damn well that I watched my friend, I talked to him about Alton Sterling on June 5th, July 5th, July 6th, the very next day he lost his life. Here we are, we mourning George Floyd. We can't even mourn George Floyd and another officer killed somebody in Brooklyn Center. Right. And so like my sister Tashira said, until we get justice for all families, there won't be no peace. We're not going nowhere. We're going to keep our knees on legislation's neck, on all of the legislators. I'm putting y'all on blast. You know, I got elected into this office to tell the people the bullshit y'all doing inside of them buildings. Yes. Either you represent the police unions or you represent the people. You can't do both. You cannot do both. You cannot do both. We are dying like sheep. Yes. They're hunting us down like deer. Racially profiling brothers and sisters left and right. Your tail light out. Your brake light out. You didn't turn your blinker on. Your windshield wiper don't work. You're driving while black. You got an air freshener. Ultimately, those traffic stops turn those cars into caskets for black people.
Legislation this week to stop.
We got legislation this week. This week, we propose legislation to try to stop these pretextual stops. The Senate don't want to hear it. So when we talk about police reform, I want y'all to be on notice. Who is stopping police reform in this state? It's the Republican Senate, and I'm not scared to say it. Hey, can I get y'all one time, everybody? Just one fist up, 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 one fist up. Reporters two, one fist up. This one for George Floyd, y'all. Say it with me one time. Guilty, guilty, guilty. One more time. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Come on. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Hey, guilty, guilty, guilty. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Yeah. Guilty, guilty. All right, y'all. Thank you. Hey, wait. Wait, before I go. This would not be possible without my brothers and sisters from the Minnesota Justice Coalition. You know, I can't propose legislation by myself, so I need allies like my brothers and sisters behind me who knows. These people know what police reform looks like. These people know what the community wants because they're part of the community. And so until you give them decision-making power, you're part of the problem. Thank you so much. I love every last one of y'all, man. All power to the people.
John Thompson.
Representative John Thompson.
Representative John Thompson. Yes, sir. For the people.
Everybody. My name is Delcia Perry. I'm the mother of Hardell Michelle. Back in 2018.
Where's the barbecue from?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Remember we are like
Thank you.
It's going to stop as well. The dehumanization and criminalization of black men stops now. I've said it before and I'll keep saying it again. These Democrats pride themselves that Minnesota doesn't have the death penalty. but they seem sure A-okay with public executions in Minnesota. I call bullshit. That's that bullshit. That's that bullshit. And Tim Walz is going to know it. If we got to keep pulling up the folks' houses, then that's what we got to do. If we got to pull up to Pete Orpit's house, who's handling the case for Dante Wright, then that's what we got to do. And when folks did show up to Pete Orpit's house, you saw white folks coming out of their houses with their fists up. Because the culture is changing. The accountability is coming. When I say hold on, change gonna come, I mean hold on, change is here. And it's happening through all of y'all. It's happening through all of y'all. We're gonna get marching in a few minutes. But I want you to keep saying his name. Say his name! George Floyd! 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 What's that brother's name right there in the red with the dress? Fernando Garcia. Say his name! 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 And do you remember the day when you heard about what happened to Philando? You remember that? Unbelievable. Couldn't believe it. And I tell you something, for a lot of the folks with melanin in here, the reality you need to come to terms with is that we don't get a trigger warning when we go on the internet and we see ourselves in these people that have just been gunned down, just been shot down, just been taken and stripped right out of existence from us. We don't get a trigger warning for that. So you have to come to terms with the fact that we've been going through trauma for a minute, and it may come out in different ways. I work with youth as a paraprofessional, and folks going through trauma may not know it at certain times, but it may come out of our joints sometimes. It may come in the volume of our voice sometimes, and that's okay. The way that you express yourself is not diagnosable, and it is not against the law. For black people to be angry, upset, and fed up, that is not against the law. That is perfectly all right. You should be upset. You should be uncomfortable. You should feel real uneasy with what's going down. Because what just happening there is going to keep happening for time to come. It's going to keep happening for time to come. Because we fired up, can't take no more. 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 We fired up, can't take no more.
Before we head out on the march, we unfortunately don't have anything to carry the drum. We kind of are unprepared. But we would like to offer a couple danzas before, so we could, generate some good energy. We already have a lot of great energy in the crowd right now, so I just want to say thanks to everybody that's here. And right here, Francisco has a couple words to say, so thanks, Chris, for coming out.
Thank you. Yeah, everyone back up, please. We need some space here. That's where I'm like. I want you to do the seat. Yeah, I'm Francisco Sanchez. I'm with MIRAC, that's the Minnesota Immigrants' Rights Action Committee. That's right, I just heard him say, we just made a serious case. And that's right, we did. We are here making history. And I say we are here because we have all been here throughout the past fucking year. And what other city in the country has been on the ground, boots on the ground, every single day for a year? And this city is on a mission. This city is on a mission to create a society that it would be true justice for George Floyd. A world where black men and women and children and queer folk and transgender black people will be safe, they will be loved, they will be cared for, they will not have to go outside and wonder if they're going to get stopped by the police. Because police murder people, but police do a lot more than just murder people. Police criminalize children, police sexually assault women. In many states, police can have sex with people in their custody and won't be charged for rape.
That's not bullshit.
We have not gotten justice for George Floyd. We have gotten the conviction of a killer cop who should have been convicted the hour after, the minute after he murdered George Floyd. George Floyd is a society that cares for itself. That is the society that we are creating. The community protects the community. We already know what the police do to us. We see it every day online. Like, we're past having to justify and qualify our lived experiences. It's happened. We can see that it's happened. Every single day. Over and over. So, another thing that no city has done, and we see it here today, is that in this city, all communities, all cultural groups, we have been out here together. We are unified. We are one community. We're unified for justice, for creating a society where everyone is safe. And with that, we are here to celebrate a victory that we won today, but we are here to mark a momentous occasion in history that's going to propel us forward to more history-breaking things that are going to happen. Exactly, this is just the beginning. So with that, I'm going to give it over to Kalpuli Yashunotsi.
What a way to do it.
Yeah. All this work is paying off right now and will continue to pay off. We will get what we want because we are here. We are present and we are going nowhere. We win one, we win many. This is for their future. I want y'all to take a look. Look at your neighbor. Who are you seeing here is meant to be here. And I said that yesterday, I'm going to say it today, and I'm going to say it tomorrow. Who's here is meant to be here. I have so much love and thanks for the community that hold it down all the time, not just now, but always. And I don't get enough credit for that. It's not just us as Ansantes. You know, it's everyone in the community. Francisco said it. We're here in community. Other places are separated. We're not like that. Right? That's right. So let's keep that unity, keep that energy. Take that energy with you everywhere. Because that's yours. Don't let nobody else take that from you. No matter what they tell you to shut up, don't talk no more. No matter if they arrest you, we're going to take you out. You're going to come back home. We do that. We making sure you're taken care of. And that's all I got to say. Love y'all.
When I say black lives, you say matter. Black lives. 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 That's how consistent and over and over and over and over we're going to keep coming back. But today, we will breathe. Today, we will look at this as a small victory. And because of say his name, say his name, say his name, that brother had to sacrifice his life for this small victory. Let's be clear. We've been in the streets, but that brother had to give his life for this victory. Say his name. George Floyd. Say his name. George Floyd. Say his name. George Floyd. Say his name. George Floyd.
We got your back. We got your back. We got your back.
We got your back.
We got your back.
We got your back.
We got your back.
I hope y'all know I got your back too. So here's the thing, man. There's been a lot of people that lost their lives. But because we keep showing up in these streets, we will continue to win. When they said, I believe that we will win.
I believe that we will win.
So like that was just like a thing, right? We had never won before. It was just something we were hoping on. Something we were wishing on. Well, guess what, y'all? This has now become a reality. I believe that we will win. 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 Here we go. I believe that we will win. Here we go. I believe that we will win. 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 Because it's time for true justice. All right, y'all. I see my man standing here. So that tells me it's almost time to move. Okay. Who's ready to march? If you have a sign that an amazing artist made, please put it in the air. If you have a sign that an amazing artist made, please put it in the air. I'm going to need y'all to keep these up through this walk. I know your arms are going to be heavy, but remember how heavy our soul was the first time we watched that video? I believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I
feeling, my beautiful people, man. I'm Cortez Rice, man. Extending solidarity with our families. We will continue to be out here boots the ground, man. It was beautiful right here. God is so good. And George Floyd and the whole family deserves that right there. But mind you, this is just small. This is just a small. Right here. This is only small. We got bigger issues right here. We got bigger problems as well. We're gonna continue to be out here boots the ground, push the legislative changes that we need for our community. We have family supporting families against police violence, CPAC, Twin City Justice for Tamar Clark, here in Minnesota out here. We got organizations that's out here ready to make the changes for our community. So we got to continue to uplift our brothers and sisters. We actually have Bianca Austin out here, Breonna Taylor's auntie out here with us. Say his name! Say his name! George Floyd! All power to the people.
Do we have any educators out here? Do we have any educators out here? Give it up for these two educators that have been out here since day one, as they say. Give it up for Arya.
And we found out that we have received justice today, that so many students see the facts of policing from the minute they start kindergarten. Young black and brown students are policed, their joy is policed, their talents are policed, and young people, they see it all the way from the system. And so we are educators today who are fighting for the change in schools because white educators, God, problems with policing of students is horrible. We have black and brown children who are growing up in society today and they don't see that policing in their schools. Justice for all black and brown children.
We need everybody to back up and let the banner come forward. We need Preston Fan out. Preston Fan out, please and thank you. We need Preston Fan out. We appreciate y'all. We need everybody in front of the truck, in front of the van, to move out the way and come behind it. We want everybody to be safe in this march. We don't want anybody to get hurt. We want to march through these streets because today we made history. So we're going to get moving. We're going to get moving with this truck going forward, and we're going to march through these streets, and we're going to celebrate today, but know that tomorrow we get right back to work. Say his name. 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 Say his name.
Everybody on the side of the truck, you need to get behind the banner. That includes this. I'm going to say it. Everybody behind the banner. Behind the banner. That includes Jesus, she said. The ugly white mainstream. Behind the banner! Stay behind the banner! Stay behind the banner! Stay behind the banner!
Give it up for our brothers from Louisville.
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Say his name! George Floyd! Say his name!
George Floyd!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Now!
If we don't get it, if we don't get it,
Shut it down!
if we don't get it,
Shut it down!
if we don't get it,
Shut it down!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Hold up. We want freedom, freedom. All these places ask us. We don't need them. Hold up. We want freedom, freedom. All these places ask us. We don't need them.
Yeah, yes. So that moves us on. So we're in the data set.
Let's get put in the place.
Say his name! George Floyd! What's his name? George Floyd! Say his
We want peace. We want peace. We want justice. We want justice. We want peace. We want peace. We want justice. We want justice. We want peace. We want peace. We want justice. We want justice. We want peace. We want peace. We want justice. We want justice. We want peace. We want justice. We want justice. We want peace. We want peace. We want justice. We want justice. We want peace. We want peace. We want justice. We want justice. We want peace. We want justice. We want justice. We want peace. We want peace. We want justice. We want justice. We want peace. We want peace. We want justice. We want justice. We want peace. We want justice. We want justice. We want peace. We want justice. We want justice.
People speaking for the people, I'm proud of them. Stick together, we can get it up out of them. I can't lie like I don't rap about killing and dope, but I'm telling my youngest the rope. I do what I did cause I dare, no trust and no hope. I was forced to just jumping in. This bullshit is all that we know, but it's time for a change. Got time to be serious, no time for no games. Ain't taking no more, let us go for them change. Got to live more, that's one of them names. Bigger than black and white. They're running with the whole real life. Things change overnight. So we gotta start somewhere. I might as well go and try here. We done had a hell off for a year. I'ma make it count while I'm here. God, it's 100 man right there. They training off the stuff, the killers, they shooting for touch with these rubber bullets. They regular people, I know that they feel that stuff. How about you? Nobody remember that I made it. I'm just I'm not gonna put a good year besides like George Floyd. What's his name? George Floyd. George Floyd. What's his name? George Floyd. George Floyd. What's his name? George Floyd. George Floyd. George Floyd. George Floyd. George Floyd.
I'm pretty good. Hey, I need to change battery. Should I just do it hot? Okay. And the other issue, the other thing is that I used up all the card space. I'm on the old 250s, so I have a SD card. I have the old 32 cards. And I didn't have a 32, it was like 16 for this game. So, yeah, I ran it out to the end, which is pretty much the press conference. So, you know, would you be able to edit from Yeah. 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 Cool. Oh. Yeah, I gotta do it right now, and then. Yeah. Do you want me to stay with the march? Go. Okay. Yeah. Julio would know better. He's kind of like the part of this town. I don't know the town all that well. Yeah, I've got to. Okay, yeah, let me change battery and I'll stay with you. I need to find Alex also. Okay, cool. All right, copy that. I'm changing bats. Thank you. Can you hold this?
Yeah.
Hey, Brody!
You're in the shop. So, did I read our first piece?
Defense code. Defense code.
And so, I just talked to Marie. go. Can you cut? If I give you the card, you go back. She wants to break.
I actually showed everything on my cell phone.
I know, but then call her. There's a moment on my card. You can edit what you have. And
Give me your card.
Yeah, and then just add my stuff to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have your laptop with you?
No. I just go to the hotel.
Yeah. Give her a call because I think she's looking for the moment that they said guilty.
Okay.
You weren't there.
No, I was there.
You were right behind me. Yeah. But it's kind of weird. It's on audio. I wasn't pointing toward the guy saying it, but I came around.
I look at it.
Yeah, it's there.
Okay, see you guys.
Cool.
Sarah said she got caught.
Yeah.
When they use black and brown bodies, indigenous bodies, the way that they do them, they act like it don't matter. They act like it don't matter. And time and time again, we think, oh, this is going to be the one we finally got. This is going to be the one we finally got. Time and time again, they say, what you thought. Right, but now today, we finally get our little bit of justice. Our little bit of justice. Just a little bit. And people say, does this set a precedent? What does this mean moving forward? Well, take a time out, take a step back. What does this mean moving backwards? Since we're convicting killer cops now, what about the 450 plus Minnesotans that have been dying at the hands of the police? You know how many names I've had to learn over this past year? You know how many families I've had to meet with? You know how many families I've had to meet with? How many mothers, significant others, fathers have been crying? How many tears they've shed for lives that they will never get back and have gotten zero justice? If we're setting the precedent that we're convicting killer cops, we got a lot of fucking work to do. We got a lot of fucking work to do. Moving forward, today was a heavy-ass day. This is my 13th day in a row being at an action because even when they're under a magnifying glass, the state is under a magnifying glass, the entire world is watching, they can't stop killing people. They cannot stop killing people. Dante Wright, say his name. Dante Wright. 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 That man did not deserve to go out that way. People are going to say what they want to say. People are going to say whatever they want. People are going to say whatever they want. People are going to say whatever they want. They're going to try to justify it. They're going to say, oh, he shouldn't have resisted. Why did he fear for his life? Because they fucking killed him. He had the right to fear for his life because they fucking killed him. Me having black skin, I can't do shit right when it comes to the police. If I give myself up, have y'all heard the story of Hardell Sheriff? Y'all just repeat after me quick. Rest in peace to Hardell. Rest in peace to Hardell. Nobody should die in jail. Nobody should die in jail. Rest in peace to Hardell. Rest in peace to Hardell. Nobody should die in jail. Nobody should die in jail. He died in the Beltrami County Jail up in northern Minnesota. So I'm going to need y'all to say, Beltrami County, go to hell. Beltrami County, go to hell. Nobody should die in jail. Nobody should die in jail. Rest in peace to Hardell. Rest in peace to Hardell. Nobody should die in jail. Nobody should die in jail. It doesn't matter what I do with my black... Oh, I'm sorry. It doesn't matter what I do with my black skin. I do not feel safe. I am drowning with the weight of knowing that I cannot move how other people move. There are certain things I cannot do. I have to code switch. I have to make sure I act right. I have to make sure, do I got my shit straight? Do I got air fresheners hanging from my mirror? Do I got my tabs right? Let's go. Because all of that is a death sentence for a black man in this country. There's so many reasons why I could be gunned down and they gonna try to justify it. Apparently the one time is if they knee on my neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds, and after we burn shit down, and after the world burns shit down, then maybe they'll say, maybe that wasn't right. Maybe that one wasn't right. Nah, hell no, we gonna keep fighting. The only thing that today does for me personally, don't get me wrong, today is a victory. Today is a victory. The only thing that today does for me personally is I'll probably sleep better tonight. I'll sleep a little bit better tonight, knowing that today could have been a lot more shitty. Knowing that today I told my boss before I left work, I should be here tomorrow, but you never know. You never know. I'm proud of y'all for being boots on the ground. And like DJ was saying, we can't stop caring now. If the lieutenant, if the police chief, if medical examiners, if everyone can get on that stand and say, that was murder, Derek Chauvin had no reason to do all of that. Everyone wants to talk about good and bad apples. Well, if that was murder, why did them other cops stop him? If that was murder, why did them good apples stop the shit? So this, moving forward, when we got them other three on trial, you heard everyone say that was murder. So you are now accessory to murder. And we gonna stay in these streets until George Floyd gets all of the justice that he deserves. We're gonna stay in these streets until Dante White gets all of the justice that he deserves. We're gonna stay
don't know their own black history. And that's the damn truth. The Black Panther Party and the idea of community control of the police was so damn dangerous that they killed Fred Hampton and Mark Clark and so many revolutionaries from the Black Panther Party because they know how dangerous community control of the police is. We need to know what we're fighting for. These Democrats, these nonprofits, I wish I could say that the Republicans were the true enemy, but the fact of the matter, these Democrats and Republicans, they are wolves in sheep's clothing. Woo! They're going to act like we got, like this victory today, yes, it's an amazing victory, and we deserve it. Black people across the country and the world deserve this victory today. There is no doubt about that. But we are not going to be satisfied for renaming of the Minneapolis Police Department when we know that brings no motherfucking accountability for these pigs right here. Yes, we can defund the police, and maybe one day we will abolish the police, but we ain't going to do shit unless we have control over them. That is the number one thing right now. These groups that talk about all they're going to do is move that money from the public taxpayer funding into their own damn pockets. That's not what they're telling you. This shit is done with. We're not playing games no more. These opportunists, they have got to go. And so that's why if you haven't signed that petition for community control of the police, you need to find somebody with a clipboard and you need to get it signed today. Because we're not going to let these pigs in these buildings have any more control over our lives today. That shit ends today. So we're going to keep it moving, and we're going to keep on marching, and we're going to honor the victories of our ancestors and George Floyd, and know that this fight doesn't just end with George Floyd. It starts before George Floyd. People like Jamar and Delando and Breonna Taylor and so many other people, and we're going to keep on moving it forward. Yeah, say her name, Breonna Taylor. Say her name. 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 Say his name. Say his name.
Moving forward with charges.
We have to roll over nobody, nothing like that, especially these men says. So we're going to keep on moving here.
That person also.
What's his name? George Floyd. Say his name. George Floyd. Say his name. George Floyd. George Floyd. What's his name? George Floyd. Say his name. George Floyd. Say his name. George Floyd. Say his name. George Floyd.
You're still on the internal battery. Do you want to put you on the white battery?
I don't think so. How long does it have left?
Like 47%. Yeah.
gonna try to sit out if you don't, okay? So what do we want? You bring under the chair, okay? What do we want them? Under the chair! What do we want them? Under the chair! What do we want them? Under the chair! And if they show them, you say guilty. Show them! Guilty! Guilty! What do we want them? Under the chair! What do we want them? Under the chair! Show them! Guilty! Guilty! What do we want them? Under the chair! What do we want them? Under the chair! Guilty! Guilty! What do we want them? Under the jail! What do we want them? Under the jail! Show them! Guilty! Show them! Guilty! What do we want them? Under the jail! What do we want them? Under the jail! I knew that we would win! 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 My question is, now that the trial is over, are the national guard probably not gonna fuck home? National Guard! Go home! 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 Say his name! George Floyd! Say his name! George Floyd! What's his name? George Floyd! Say his name! George Floyd! Louder! George Floyd! Say his name! George Floyd! What's his name? George Floyd! Say his name! George Floyd! What's his name? George Floyd! Say his name! George Floyd! What's his name? George Floyd! Say his name! George Floyd! Alright, when I say boots on the ground, you gotta say boots on the damn ground, okay? Boots on the ground! Boots on the ground! Boots on the ground! On that, on that, on that, on that! Boots on the ground! Boots on the ground! Boots on the damn ground! Boots on the ground! Boots on the damn ground! On that, on that, on that, on that! Boots on the ground! Boots on the damn ground! Boots on the ground! Boots on the damn ground! Boots on the ground! Boots on the damn ground! On that, on that, on that, now boots on the ground! Boots on the damn ground! Boots on the ground! Boots on the damn ground! Boots on the ground! Boots on the damn ground! And that's on that, on that, on that! Boots on the ground! Boots on the ground! Boots on the ground! And that's on that, on that, on that! No good cops in a racist system! 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 GTFO! Get the fuck out! I said GTFO! Get the fuck out! I said ABAB! All my professors! GTFO! Get the fuck out! I said ABAB! All my professors! GTFO! Get the fuck out! I don't know what y'all been told! I don't know what y'all been told! The killer got to go! The killer got to go! I don't know what y'all been told! I don't know what y'all been told! The killer got to go! The killer got to go! 412! 412! 412! 412! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to the left! 412! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to the left! 412! I don't know what y'all been told! I don't know what y'all been told! The killer got to go! The killer got to go! I don't know what y'all been told! I don't know what y'all been told! The killer got to go! Where you at? We need you, Richard! Bring the Black Panthers! 412! 412! 412! 412! 412! 412! 412! 412! 412! 412! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! If Joey don't kill it, shut it down! If Joey don't kill it, shut it down! If Joey don't kill it, shut it down! If Billy don't kill it, shut it down! If Billy don't kill it, shut it down! If Billy don't kill it, shut it down! If Joey don't kill it, shut it down! If I don't kill it, shut it down! If Billy don't kill it, shut it down! supervisors. Give it up for the marshals. Give it up for everybody that's been an integral part of this action today. And give it up for Peter in the sound truck. Coming out here. I wanna introduce a very powerful person. Where'd you go? Angela Myers, where you at? Hey, talk about that. I wanna introduce a black queen, the head of the NAACP in Minneapolis. Give it up for Angela Myers, y'all.
Hello, everyone. My name is Angela Rose Myers, and I am the president of the Minneapolis NAACP. It stands for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. We were established in Minneapolis in 1914. And we have been fighting for our people ever since.
Hold the mic real close to your mouth. You guys back up.
Just test it real quick.
Mic check. Go ahead and start over. Give it up again.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Again, my name is Angela Rose Myers, and I am the president of the Minneapolis NAACP, which stands for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. We were established in Minneapolis in 1914, and we have been serving the black community in Minneapolis ever since. So today, what did we see? We saw Derek Chauvin guilty on all charges. Now, did we get justice?
No.
Is justice over? No. Are we going to go home and pat ourselves on the back and say good job? We got 3 more to put in jail. We got 3 more. We got policies. We got policies that we are going to put into place that we are fighting for right now. We got policies at the state legislature, and guess what? Warren Limmer, can I get a boo? Ain't hear none of it. We got police policies we're trying to pass from ending qualified immunity, ending the statutory limitations on reporting civil settlements for police misconduct. We are trying to go right and be right and stand with the families that have lost their loved ones due to police violence. And yet, Warren Limmer, it's time for you to listen to the people. This week, we're going to the Post Board. Do you know what the Post Board is? It's a state licensing body for police officers. The Post Board, it's time to revoke licenses for police misconduct. It's time to protect protesters. It's time to tell the National Guard and Governor Walz, go home. So we are fighting. We stand with you. The Minneapolis NAACP, we are fighting with you. We hold police accountable. But every single day, the power of the Minneapolis NAACP and NAACPs across the country comes right here from the work that you all are doing in the streets. And I want to let you all know that we're proud of you, that we stand with you, and don't let anybody tell you that being in the streets doesn't go into the public policy and into the State House. Because we've seen what being in the streets can do. We've seen that the immediate day after after Derek Chauvin put his knee on George Floyd's neck, we marched right up to Chief Arredondo. We said, fire him! Fire him! And then we went straight to Mayor Fry and to Mike Freeman, and then Attorney General Keith Ellison, and we said, indict, convict, send those killer cops to jail, because the whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send those killer cops to jail, the whole damn system is guilty as hell. And until we change that system, we will not see justice. Until we change that system and everyone in these streets, until we change that system, we will never be free. Thank you, everybody, for having me.
Yep, so everyone has to back up a little bit. All the press has to back up. This is for the people, okay? So coming up next, we have a civil rights attorney. Reverend Jessie Jackson was here yesterday. She called her modern day Harriet Tubman. She's been out the last 13 days just like I have. She answers and calls and makes texts at 1 or 2 in the morning despite having kids. She was outside of the Brooklyn Center Police Department feeding the people during the revolution. Give it up for Nikema Levy Armstrong with the Racial Justice Network.
I know some of y'all surprised to see me in a suit. Because once I got out in the streets, honestly, y'all, I gave a lot of my suits away. And I put on hoodies, pants that I could just get out here and walk in because this is about the people, right? So I'm almost at a loss for words to think about what happened today. One of the things that I want us to do tonight, while we're continuing to hold the system accountable, is to make sure we get the narrative right about why this happened. Don't let people like punk-ass Mike Freeman, the Hennepin County attorney, try to step up and take credit for what the people did. I heard him on NPR talking about his staff did this, your staff did that. Your staff and you sat on your asses while cops were killing people. Let's be real about it. That's why we had to go to your house time and time again, and even your neighbors helped run you out your neighborhood. Period. And you better hope we don't find your new address. Okay? Because he should have been stepped down. He has no business as the Hennepin County attorney, and now he wants to show up and act like he cared about justice for George Floyd? First of all, it took him 4 days to bring charges that he didn't even want to bring. Then he brought third-degree murder charges. We said, hell no, that was a public lynching. You better up those charges. And what we found out later was that he secretly tried to negotiate a plea agreement with Derek Chauvin, 10 years in exchange for third-degree murder.
That ain't right.
That ain't right. And the only reason that did not happen, believe it or not, was Attorney General William Barr, under the Trump administration, deciding not to accept that plea agreement and saying you're going to have to stand trial. So in the meantime, what we did as the people was say, first of all, we don't trust Mike Freeman. So we said, Governor Walz, do your job. You have the power to appoint the Attorney General to take on this case. And then we said, Keith Ellison, do your damn job and prosecute this case and bring more serious charges. So the people you see stepping up like, we did this. No, we made you do it. You didn't want to do it because you have a track record of not holding killer cops accountable. That's why Derek Chauvin thought he could lynch a black man in broad daylight on May 25th of 2020 and get away with it. Because in the past, he would have gotten away with it. But that was before Black Lives Matter. It's because of the power of the people taking to the streets, shutting shit down, demanding justice.
meetings if we have to, running for office if we have to, refusing to sit on the sidelines even when they're talking political speak and engaging in political theater. We ain't falling for the okie doke. So we took the very laws that were used to oppress us and we used them to demand justice and accountability. And we also put the narrative out there so that the jury would understand what this was about. How often do we now read stories and see stories come forward that speak the truth from our perspective? Much more than they used to. Not because of mainstream corporate media, but because of the power of social media that's in the hands of the young people who can tell your own stories the way that you want to. So don't let them change the narrative, y'all. And don't forget how we got here, because we have a lot more work to do after this day. So that means that when we issue calls to action, show up. When we say call somebody, call them. When we say pull up at somebody's house, like we just did last weekend, to demand justice for Dante Wright, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? What we gonna do? They got Operation Safety Net. We got Operation. We got Operation. We got Operation. See, they ain't gonna rest until we see justice, till we see change in this whole system. Right? So when we issue those calls to action, make sure you show up and you take it seriously. Because next, we're going to push for murder charges against Kim Potter, the cop who killed Dante Wright, pretending she didn't know the difference between a taser and a Glock. Somebody say, you gonna learn today. Say, you gonna learn today. Say, you gonna learn today. And so will Pete Orpett, the Washington County attorney who brought those weak-ass charges, who came out his house all scared after we showed up 200 plus strong in his neighborhood, walking through there with his neighbors raising their fists up in solidarity, saying Black Lives Matter, out in Stillwater, Minnesota. So what that says about our movement is that we're gaining momentum. We are fighting for change. We are picking up the energy from the people who came before us, and we're running the next leg of the race. So no matter what, don't give up. No matter what, don't give in. No matter what, don't keep silent. Stand up, rise up, fight back. When black people are under attack, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? When black people are under attack, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? All power to the people. This victory belongs to you.
Let me tell you something about Nakima. A lot of people look at George Floyd Square, and those folks have been holding it down there for almost a year. But people forget that when Jamar Clark got killed, when Jamar Clark got murdered, Nakima was holding it down outside the 4th Precinct for a long time until they pulled up with bulldozers and got everybody to move out there. But I don't believe we'd be where we're at right now had Nakima not organized, mobilized the people and all the people that were around it with Twin Cities Coalition for Justice for Jamar. Had that not happened then, we wouldn't have this now. So that momentum is growing. That momentum is growing. And there were a few brothers that came up to me in the beginning and they said they wanted to speak about what's going on in their community, in the Somali community, and in the East African community, the Muslim community. And we learned a lot of different chants after they took Dalal Eid's life. And one of them, and if you know it, Takbir! 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 And maybe that's not even a chant, but that's something I learned from the brothers that I was marching alongside with when we were marching for Dalal Eid. So I want you to give it up for somebody that has been working hard, so hard, with the American Islamic Relations Committee. Give it up for Muhammad Ibrahim.
Guilty, guilty, guilty. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Guilty, guilty, guilty.
alaikum, my name is Mohammed Ibrahim, Salam means peace, and I'm with Care Minnesota. And I think that this moment truly belongs to the people. That's right. So I want everybody to give yourselves a round of applause. Because the people are the ones who demanded justice. It is the people who took to the streets. It is the people that demanded for Derek Chauvin to be charged along with the 3 other officers. And it was the people that made them all get 3rd-degree murder charges. And 2nd-degree murder charges. And manslaughter murder charges. Because remember, Mike Freeman told us that we did not see anything there. He told us that he did not have enough to charge Derek Chauvin. And to Mike Freeman we say, guilty, guilty, guilty. Guilty, guilty, guilty. And now, Mike Freeman guilty too. We just got partial justice, y'all. That's right. We just got a little bit of justice, y'all. We still want 3 more officers. Now everyone put your 3 fingers in the air and say 3 more! 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 Now add your pinky to it. Because we want Kimberly Potter in there as well. So everyone say 4 more! 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 We have to remember that this moment, even though we did get this little bit of victory, we still did not get justice, because justice would have been if George Floyd was still with us today. That truly would have been justice. But today, we got a sweet taste of accountability. And we need to continue to fight for accountability. So now this moment, like, his name was Blackwater, right? The attorney, Blackwater? Yeah. He said that Blackwell. We cannot let up. We cannot let up. This is the moment for all of us to continue to fight for all 470 plus lives that were lost in police brutality since 2000 and beyond. Right? This is the moment that they just let the door crack a little bit open. And it is up to the people to burst through that door demanding justice. And we will get that justice because it was up to the people to bring those charges, and the people got us those guilty verdicts. So please do not give up. Please do not let up, because if we can't go to sleep during the revolution, now that we got this little bit of justice, we cannot fall asleep. So please keep your eyes wide open and continue to demand justice. Thank you.
Let me tell you how powerful this is. I'm finally excited, and I'm going to get to go home and take a temporary break, see if my voice will actually heal. Maybe this is just my voice now. Who knows? I can't even remember the last time I heard myself at the full. Maybe this is full volume now. But remember, the rest is only temporary. We still got so much work to do. So, coming up next, let me tell you, this man has been out here for a while, and he's making sure we get justice. And it's been real cool to see the transformation slowly, like the evolution. And remember when I met Jelani, he was kind of, he had the button-up shirt, he was always giving the speeches, he was real directed, and just seeing him get fired up over the last year, because he's fired up, can't take no more. He's fired up, can't take no more. We're fired up, can't take no more. We're fired up, can't take no more. So this next brother here is fired up, he can't take anymore. Jelani Hussein, who's the executive director of Care Minnesota.
All right. First of all, greeting you all with a greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace and blessing be upon you all. Someone just reminded me, Sam, she said, I've been always fired up. And my first major protest was in January, I believe 15, 2003 in Washington, D.C. with about 100,000 people demanding that the United States not invade Iraq. So I've been protesting for a little bit of a while, just a little bit, yeah, just a little bit. But today is a unique day. I want you to know that the entire country was a little bit suffocated today. the entire world was a little suffocated. There's a lot of people in downtown Minneapolis, uptown and southtown and Ridgedale and Wetdale and Small America. There are a lot of people today suffocated a little bit. They were anxious. They were worried about injustice for the first time. They were worried about the potential that Chauvin would walk free. But personally, for me, I was not worried. I was not worried because what we saw on 38th in Chicago cannot be unseen. George Floyd's killing will haunt us for the rest of our lives. No one should die in that manner. No one should die demanding to breathe. No one should die begging to breathe. No one should die calling out to their mother. Today, many of us were glued to that TV all over the world, hoping to hear that word, guilty, 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 and guilty. And I want to let you know that I'm really proud of 12 members of our community who are inside that building today. 12 members of our community who are inside that building today. 12 members of our community who saw the humanity of George Floyd, who saw the evil in Derek Chauvin. 12 people who came to the conclusion that the world came to, that everybody came to, that guilty was Derek Chauvin, that he was guilty as charged. I want you to know that we did not choose this moment, but this moment chose us. Not any other state, not any other street, but right here. This is a moment for us Minnesotans. I want you to take a half a second, because I'm one of the last speakers here. Just take a half a second, look to your left, look to your right. This is who we are. This is who we are. Young and old. Young and old. Brown, black, white, all shades of color. From here, from there, from everywhere. We are all here. This is our community. This is our streets. That building is our taxpayer dollars. The police department are doing things because it's our taxpayer dollars. This is our government. It is us who were on trial this week, but we prevailed. And we sent a signal, a small message, not just to us here in Minnesota, but to the rest of this country, that police officers are not above the law. 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 And I'm telling you, when I heard guilty, 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 there was one thought that came to my mind that was grained in the back of my head. When this trial started and we watched the videos of the last moments of George Floyd, there was one moment that I grabbed of all those moments and I held it inside for this day. And that was when George Floyd, in his moment of happiness, was dancing inside Cub Foods, making a movement of dancing of joy. I took that moment and I kept it with me to celebrate with him today. To celebrate with him today. Because no life should be taken the way they took the life of George Floyd. No one should be taken like that. But Derek Chauvin today met the law that he thought was going to protect him. He saw that law today. And how sweet was it to see those handcuffs? How sweet was it to see those handcuffs? And I'm going to tell you something. As I was walking around too, there was another thought that came to my mind. Those three other officers, I don't know what they're thinking right now. I don't know what they're thinking right now. But man, is those handcuffs going to look good on them too. They're going to look real good on them. Real good on them. in this moment right now have to hold a space in our heart for George Floyd's family. Because none of this can bring him back. None of this can bring him back. But I'm going to ask every single one of you, as I ask every single time, one thing. Please know that if you're out on the streets here today, that we need you tomorrow. Don't go home thinking we got justice only inside the courthouse, because we need justice outside the courthouse. And because if we don't get justice outside the courthouse, there will be another Dante Wright. There will be another person killed by police, because we have not fundamentally changed the system in this country. And so today I want you to make a commitment, not to me. Make a commitment to George Floyd's family. Make a commitment to Dante Wright's family. Make a commitment to all of the families who are grieving right now at this moment. While they celebrate, they also grieve, because none of them, many of them, did not get this sweet moment. Many of them did not get the justice that we saw that is possible in this city. But I'm telling you, today and the last days, we are only moving forward. We are only moving forward. And no matter where it is, when it is, when an officer gets involved in killing one of us, we will show up. 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 And to my last point, there's a lot of young people today in this movement, and I wanted you to look around. There's a lot of young people here. There's a lot of young people here right now. And I'm talking to the young people. You are braver than us. You're more courageous than us. This is your future. Fight for it. Fight for it. Many of you walked out of school on Monday. We saw you. We saw you. We saw you. You walked out of school on Monday. I want you to know that it's about you that we're fighting for, and the unborn that have yet to be born. Today, we got a piece of justice, but we are hungry for justice for all of us. We are hungry for true justice in America, when a black man can live and thrive in this country, when all of us can thrive in this country. So Minnesota, pull your flashlights out for a second. I want you to pull your flashlight and turn it on for a second, because I'm going to end with this. This moment right now is very important. Everybody in the world is watching the streets here. And I'm going to tell to the rest of the world that Minnesota is shining the true North Star of justice right here. We are shining a light of justice. And we hope that this light of justice can bring a little bit of lightness in the darkness that has existed in this country for so long. Listen! A little bit of lightness in the darkness. And we shine this light against the evil that has existed for so long. We shine a little bit of light of hope, that on this street and on this corner, on this day, God was on our side. And on this day, we can tell our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren that they told us it was not possible. But it was possible, because 12 members of our community stood tall inside a courthouse in Hennepin County. And I'm going to tell you in this moment right now, we need this justice to flow all the way down on the Mississippi River, all the way down to the Delta, because this country needs more justice for Breonna Taylor, and for the countless lives all over this country, for Adam Toledo, and for all lost lives. In this moment, we make a commitment to all those families, and we say boldly that we will demand justice for them by any means necessary.
All right. So, what I want to talk about is all the black women you've seen today, right? We've seen Monique, we've seen Tashira, we've seen Nakima Levy Armstrong, Shia Perry, none of this is by accident. This isn't something that's unique to Minnesota. Black women have been carrying this movement for over 400 fucking years. And you see that all throughout history. You see that when you look at Harriet Tubman. You see that when you look at Eartha Kitt. You see that when you look at Angela Davis and Asada. Women run this movement. And they run it on the front line, and they run it on the back line. Okay? Because all of this shit right here, this takes organization. This takes planning, execution. And so, I know everyone knows Nikema and Tashira, but what I want to introduce you to is one of our leaders behind the scenes. Kelly does a lot, everywhere. She sits there when she needs to, but she got the skills to do everything. And today is a rare thing y'all get to witness. Y'all get to see her try a new hat in the movement. But she does everything. So give it up for Kelly, who's going to do our astonishing contract. Fuck yeah, Kelly!
When we fight, we win. Say it with me. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. We are still under occupation. We still need justice for all the stolen lives.
Yeah, that's right.
But today we made history.
That's right.
Everyone, fist ups in the air.
Go ahead, Kelly. Do that thing.
Of course. It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one another.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one another.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love and support one another.
We must love and support one another.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
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 All power to the people.
All power to the people.
Okay, everybody, I guess we're having announcements here real quick. So real quick, if you are getting text messages about community control, the police, then you need to do that so that way you know what the next steps are. So I'm going to give you a phone number here. It's 612-453-3152. And you're going to text this, you're going to text the letters C as in cat, P as in Paul, A as in apple, and then C as in the cat. And again, the phone number to text is 612-453-3152. One more time, the number's 612 453 3152. Thank you. This person knows what they're doing. And then you're going to text the letter CPAC, which stands for CPAC, which is Civilian Police Accountability Council. And that's going to get you signed up for text messages because this struggle's not over. We're going to take 1 day of rest, maybe a couple more for some of us, especially people who are falling out because I know it's been real stressful. And so we're going to have a couple more announcements.
Dante Wright's brother has asked that we join at Brooklyn Center, at the Brooklyn Center Police Department. That's where the sound truck is going to head next. And then also folks are going to George Floyd Square to meet with community and hold space. So those are two places you can go from here. And one last time, y'all, say his name.
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
All power to the people. We're taking off. We're taking off.
Yes, so please move to the side here in the grassy area, in the park here, and this is it. If you got signs, you can bring them up here to turn in, that big old banner we need. If you want to go somewhere else, you just got two options. So go ahead and turn in a banner if you need to.
Thank you so much. Great. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for covering this and being here. Of course.
Thank you.